A straightforward win, I assume, given that Charles was out of contention. I would have liked to have seen the battle, and maybe you would have too.
I think we would all like to have seen that. I mean, the most important thing is, look, it looks a nasty accident and Charles is okay. So, thankfully that's fine. But, we pulled the trigger early. We went for the undercut. We had track position effectively, with that, pitting Max on that lap. But we never got to see how it would have played out. But so in the end, great victory for us, a really important victory. Just unlucky with Checo with the virtual safety car not to get him on the podium as well.
I was surprised that Max couldn't make that move early on. We were sort of wondering whether he was holding back on purpose, playing a bit of cat and mouse. Was that all part of the strategy?
There was no real cat and mouse. I mean, you could see Ferrari were very quick off turn 6, so we were struggling to get close enough to make that DRS actually, effective and make the pass. But as the fuel load was coming off, it would have been interesting to see how that would have played out, especially as well on the hard tyre. But we've got track position by then, so I think we were very quick in sector 2 today. I think we would have had enough, hopefully, to have held Charles off, but we didn't get to see it.
Were you always planning to pit when you did? And was the undercut what you were always going to
No,
try?
I think, initially we were thinking 2-stop, then converted to a 1-stop. So, it was a race that was constantly evolving because actually the tyre wear was better than we thought.
And then that moment with George and Perez, how did you see it from your pit? Well, it always looks different, doesn't it?
It's tough. I mean, there was a problem with the virtual safety car, so they came on the radio and said, we've got to reset the software. And the most important thing with a virtual safety car, you have to stick to a time delta. And Checo was absolutely on that delta. And George had slowed down and then accelerated, but still below the delta. Just at the fortuitous time, it went green. And so he was actually going 30 kilometers an hour faster than, it was like jumping a light, or getting it absolutely right. And so, he got lucky. Checo was unlucky. Would have been lovely to see him up there on the podium, but one of those things.
Looking ahead to next week, obviously the races come thick and fast this week. What are you rating your chances as being in Hungary?
Again, I think it's going to be very tight. I think that type of circuit, a bit like Monaco without the barriers, again, we're expecting Ferrari, particularly on a single lap there, to be very competitive, and overtaking is even harder there. So, it's important for us to sort of round off this part of the season competitively. The championships, are looking healthy, but there's still such a long way to go.
Mercedes in the mix with you, do you reckon, next week as well?
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, they were competitive today. Max was 10 seconds clear at the end of the race, but they're definitely working their way back into it.
Well done today. Enjoy the celebrations.